I'm Jamie McDonald. Join me as we celebrate small businesses that make New York so unique. These New York Originals. In a short time, Williamsburg, Brooklyn has gone from a rough-and-tumble working-class neighborhood to a hip, trendy hotspot. And in that time, there's been a small tavern that's quietly hung on through all its transformations, proving you don't have to be young to be hip. It's Teddy's. Teddy's sits on a quiet residential street. It's fitting, for it radiates neighborliness.
Well, it's the down-home feeling in the big city. Everybody knows everybody. The owners are always around.
And for good reason. Teddy's caretakers take its role in the community to heart.
It was always a neighborhood bar. It was always a place where families gathered for a meal. It was never a famous restaurant. It was never a fancy restaurant. But it was a real staple in the community.
And people would come down to bars like this, and that would be their living room. And that was the culture of this neighborhood originally, and this bar originally. And that idea in a new form is sort of what we seek to have here.
And their clientele proves it. A real cross-section of, well, everybody, all of whom seem pleased to have each other's company.
So we still have our traditional blue-collar working-class community that built New York side by side, coexisting with the whole new artistic, youth-oriented community.
Teddy's is an authentic Victorian-era bar, one of the few left in the city.
Teddy's was built in 1887, and the Peter Dolger Brewery Company franchised a bar here.
The upstairs apartment had one interesting tenant in particular.
The Dolger family was related to Mae West. So she came to live here as a very young girl when she was just beginning her career in New York City, a cousin to one of the members of the Dolger family.
This place would also have a part in other pieces of New York City history.
In fact, it was Tammany Hall in the 1920s when Brooklyn had its own Tammany Hall, and secret backroom deals were made in this bar. And during Prohibition, a beautiful piece of frosted glass doors were built, and the area behind that frosted glass was the speakeasy, and the front area was presented as just a dining room.
And when it was time for Teddy's to get a spit shine, they were careful not to change too much.
And the facilities that you see here are pretty much the original, spruced up during the past 20 years.
The centerpiece of Teddy's, its exquisite stained glass Dolger sign, was particularly fussed over.
Which was made in a German glass factory that's still there. And after the entire facade sunk into the ground with age, we sent the glass back to Germany, and they restored it, they added pieces. We took the opportunity to restore the facade that was collapsing.
The facade seemed to be cursed. For just 10 months after the restoration, 2 cars jumped the curb, crashing right through it.
And every TV camera in New York City was filming this, and that's what boobs we are running Teddy's. I wanted to give an interview and seize the opportunity to make publicity, but my partners had been here during the crash and were so distraught and concerned that, you know, who knows whether anyone was hurt, what the aftermath is. We didn't even give an interview.
And through it all, Teddy's continues to be a place that serves the community.
Teddy's opens ourselves up proudly as a meeting place, a discussion place for the issues that concern our new neighbors, and a place to build community, a place to hold a fundraiser, discuss the issues.
And we've always really looked at it like it's important to bridge the gap between the old people in the neighborhood, the original people, and the new people.
And it's that theme that keeps people coming back year after year. Another, the food.
Part of our menu is sort of a traditional menu for bars, but also we feel that this culture idea that we have for here is an international idea. And most cultures have a bar food. We try to take those ideas and to infuse them with American spirit and with the best ingredients we can find.
Their wine list alone is worth a visit, for they offer some 20 labels and proudly include a few from New York State vineyards. But let's not forget about the live music. Just about any musical genre is offered here, world music, blues, and jazz in particular. Music, food, and just good atmosphere, all of it helping to keep Teddy's a vital part of the new Williamsburg culture. Teddy's has live music most nights. Now, they don't have a website yet, but you can always call them at 718-384-9787.